Open a brand new world, find the keys to your dreams. Knowledge is endless when you give yourself time to read. Discover what is in you, and you will see. Research your history and believe that reading is everything. Reading is everything. Reading is the power to your dreams.
Hello everyone, welcome to Bailey's Block. I'm Arthur Bailey C. Moore, and on my block we love to read, learn, and have tons of fun. But this week I had a long week, but fortunately I was able to pick up a book at the library. So now that you're here, let's start with the book of the day. David Goes to School by David Shannon. David's teacher always said, "No, David, no yelling, no pushing, no running in the halls." David, you're tardy. Sit down, David. Don't chew gum in class. David, raise your hand. Keep your hands to yourself. Pay attention. Wait your turn, David. I don't care who started it. David, recess is over. Shh. Again. That's it, mister. You're staying after school. David, have you finished? Good job, David. Yes, David. You can go home now. That was an interesting story. David was hilarious, but I'm glad he learned a lesson. I actually have a mentor, Officer Sheldon, stopping by today. He actually goes around Houston to different schools to encourage students. Wait, I think that's him right now.
What's up, Bailey? How you doing, man?
Reading is the power to your dreams.
All right, say, man, pull up a chair and welcome to Bailey's Block.
All right.
So, I wanted to ask you, what is Thorogood Deeds?
Thorogood Deeds is a nonprofit organization. We provide mentorship and outreach opportunities.
Well, man, that's inspiring. But what inspired you to impact the youth around Houston and visit schools all around Houston?
What basically inspired me was working at the juvenile detention facility, working around a lot of kids that just got in trouble for making, mistakes. And now they're in the system, and talking to those guys all the time about their stories on why or what happened. How did you get in here? What was the things that you was going through in the streets that made you make these mistakes? And they'd tell me sitting at the table with them. And just imagine us at the table, it's me, you, two other people, we're just sitting there. And everybody have a story. It feel like I'm in there because it's 8 hours in there with the kids. So we don't have nothing else to really talk about, but what can we do to get better? What can I do to create something so these guys wouldn't come back? So that was just a challenge, and I think God had that plan for me my whole time of being there to see what I can do to impact those kids. And when I became a police officer, it was up to me to basically go out there and do something about, making a difference in a kid's life. When I seen my first murder of a teenager, that's what made me say, hey, it's time to do something. You heard the stories, now you saw them, and it seemed like God just put that on my heart to say, hey man, you the one, go out there and do something. And so that's why I really wanted to challenge myself to impact a lot of schools. I wanted to do 50, but I made it to 30. So I got 20 more to go. So help me out, man, you know what I'm saying? And get me connected with 20 more schools so I can achieve that goal.
So how do you handle being a police officer and speaking to the youth?
I handle being a police officer and speaking to the youth by really just getting everything that I've known. I always go back to Harris County Juvenile because I learned so many stories and learned so much about the kids there. But now that I'm actually an officer and I'm out on the streets, things that go wrong in society with a lot of our kids, I'm able to talk to them. I'm basically out there on the streets with them. And I think that was a great reason why I think this is a purpose for me as being a cop, because I'm a first responder and I can go back and tell other kids, hey man, you don't need to do this. You know, you can get charged for this. You know, I can tell them what they can be charged for. You know, I know the law. So if a kid is thinking about doing something wrong and I let them know, well, you know, if you do that wrong, this is what's gonna happen. So most of the time they're like, all right, Officer T good, all right, I don't wanna do that because I don't wanna get that charge, you know. At least that's how you want everybody to think like that. But it's cool because I'm able to go out there and actually talk to them and show them, really give them the game of life, you know, making a difference in their life. And I love just, you know, being the officer because I can just impact so many people with that authority. I could do so much good out there in the community.
So I know everyone had their 2020 goals. I certainly did. But what are your 2020 goals for your organization?
My 2020 goals is building and growth. You know, I always tell my team, it'll be so great to see so many people. It's partnership. You know, you can't do it by yourself. You always got to have, you know, somebody to work with you. It's always somebody that's out there that has talent and that knows a lot. Then you know, so we can get so many people to work with each other. We can all come together. Just think of how much of an impact we can do to the youth, to the society, you know, making a difference. Because in my heart, that's all I'm about. And hopefully building more so, if I can get my own building one day. You know, I want to work out of my own building, or we can work out of our own building. You know, sometimes you got to think big, and that's what I do. I think big, and that's 2020 for me, is thinking big. You can add that to one of those goals too, because we both gonna think big, you know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. So yeah, I mean, building and growth, and hopefully, well, knowingly that it will happen. So
I just want to thank you for going around this community to inspire all of these kids. I can see how you're a motivation to them.
Appreciate you for having me here, and just you being you. You know, not only I'm inspiring kids, but you're doing a tremendous job yourself, man. You know, being here, you inspiring so many your age, and not even your age, people that's my age too. So just know, keep up the great work, and you know I'm always here if you need me.
Well, I just want to thank you for taking your time to come out here and talk to everybody that's watching right now. And also thank you for going around this community to inspire all these kids. Well, I want to thank you for visiting Bailey's Block, a block surrounded with books. I hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, and to make sure to build your block with positivity.
Open a brand new world. Find the keys to your dreams. Knowledge is endless when you give yourself time to read. Discover what is in you, and you